Oh, yesterday we saw, let's see what is the action. So we moved the Firebase part from action to this component. So whenever the page will load, we will call the Firebase, and the Firebase will dispatch the action with all the data. And once we go in the action, we have only the type browse and payload is the params. This is the data which we are going to put in the action, and this data will go into the reducer in the form of action.payload, 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 and which is saved in the data, and this data we will be displaying to the user. So ultimately, whenever we want to display the user, we have to get the data from the reducer, and this is the data which we will loop through to show the data to the user. Now I told you we created the container, and inside container we have the results. So once we get this data, that is in the food reducer data, we will pass this data to the result container, and in the result container we can access this data by the means of this.props.data. Now we have to loop through this.props.data, and with each loop we will show the results. So let's say there are 10 results in the data. That means we will loop through 10 times to show the results. So let's do that one, looping part. So today we will do the looping of this data to display the results. So if I open the readme, one second. Okay, so I will write down here what we are trying to do again. Yesterday we did it, but I will do it again. So I have all the data which is coming from the Firebase. It is in this format, this.props.data. So all data is present inside this.props.data. Now we will loop through. So what is the way to loop through the data? How we loop through the data? In general, in JavaScript, we use the for, and we put I equal to 0, I less than some number, and I plus plus. But what is the way to loop through? In what method we generally use? So in React, what we use? Anyone know about this? Can you hear me? Hello?
I don't know.
Okay. Kate? Kate? Where are you, Kate?
How about a for each?
Yeah, for each all we use, but there is one special method we generally use in React. Maybe I might have not told you, but today I will tell you. Kate might know, I think, if she remember. Kate, this is all data. How will you loop through? Kate, are you there? Okay, I will tell you how to loop a data. Let's say we have array. If we have array, how to loop through the array? Let's say I have array in the variable called as r, and r has an array, and I have to loop through the array in the React. So how I will loop through? I will say arr.map. I will use the map function. Map function does same thing called as for each kind of functionality is same as map. So map is nothing but for each. So in React we use map. We don't use for each, we don't use for loop, we use map function. And in the map function, we have to call the arrow function. So inside map function, we have to call this arrow function. This arrow function has two parameters. One parameter is called the value, and another parameter is called the index. So let's say if we have array of 0 equal to, let's say, 1, array of 1 equal to 2. So let's say we have two elements. So in the first case, this index will be 0. In the second case, second time when it will loop, the index will be 1. So this index is nothing but 0 and 1, and this value is nothing but this 1 and this 2. So in the first case, the value will be 1, and in the second case, value will be 2. And in the first case, index will be 0, and in the second case, index will be 1. And in the curly bracket, we will call some React component, or we can call div, or we can call any HTML component or a React component, but we have to return it. We cannot call only div like this. Div, maybe value and end div. So let's say I'm displaying this value here. I cannot say directly div. I have to return this div. So map should always return the content, and that is how we use the map. So this is the way we will use in our application. But this requires array. This requires array. It does not work with the object. So same thing will happen. It may work with the object, but the main goal of a is we should use array. It may work with object, but it may give error also. I haven't checked it, but always we use array to loop through it. We should use array in this case. We should not use the object. Object may create some other problems. So here when we get this props.data, this is always in the format of an object. So first goal of our is to convert this into array. So how to convert this into array? So next aim is to convert the data into array. So our first task is convert object to array. And after we get the array, we will use this map method to display the results. So let's convert this object into the array. Now, sometimes the data does not come. Sometimes we don't have data. So if we don't have data, we will not go through this one. If we have no data, we should not go here inside this return. So what we have to do first, data is there or not. So I will say if not this dot props data, return null. What we are doing, when we don't have any data, we will not go through here, we will just return null. But if we have data, because this data will take time from the server to come on the user's page. This is coming from the Firebase. So it takes couple of seconds to get the data from the Firebase and display it to the user. So I don't want to display this part unless we have data. So once we get the data, we will display this part. So initially when the page will load, this data will be null. We don't have this data. And since we don't have data, we will pass return null. And once we get the data, we will loop through the data to make it an array. So how to convert this data into array? We will do this first. Okay. So uh, let's go through this one, and we will convert this into an array. This is object, I know, because Firebase is returning an object. So let's convert this object into array. So I will say var my array. I will create an array equal to empty array. First I will say empty array, and now I will loop through this object. So to loop through object, we use for. This is how we do in JavaScript, normal JavaScript. It's nothing to do with the React. I will say var key in this.props.data. I will say var key in this.props.data, and here the value, the first value will be, so key will be, I will show you what is the key and what is the data. Let's check it. Console.log key is key, and console.log, and each case value will be this.props.data and key. So this is how we will get it. Right now I'm returning, okay, let it be. We will display these 3 results. We'll display 9 results. Now what I'm doing, I'm looping through the object and I'm displaying the key and value to see what is this coming from the Firebase. Let's check this one now. Okay, this error is my Chrome extension. Don't worry about this one. So we have only one data coming from the Firebase. Let's see how many data is coming from the Firebase. Okay, we have right now only one data in the Firebase, and that's the reason we are getting key of this one, and the value is an object of this whole information which we saved in the Firebase. So value is an object and key is this one. So now what we will do, we saw this is the key and this is the value. Now what we will do, we will put this value, this is the value, inside the myArray array. So I will say myArray. How can I put this value inside the array? I want with the 0 value, this should go, with the 1 value it should go, with the 2 value it should go. So first time it should be 0 value, 0 the key, and value should be like this. Second time the key will be 1 and value will be this. How will I put this value inside the array? What is the way? What is the method to put inside the array? So I will tell you, let's say if I have an object.
Push.
Yes, array.push. So then also I'll repeat. Let's say if an object with the name many and age is 43. If I want to put this object inside the array, I will say air.push and I can pass this object. So in the first case, key will become 0 and the value will become this one. So we have to use array.push always to get the data inside the array. So here I will use myArray.push and I will put this value inside this one. And now after I am done with all the loop, myArray will get all the data. Let's display the myArray. Okay, now let's display the myArray. So myArray is, It's an array with 0 is the key and we have this value. Now we got the array and now we are okay to loop through this array inside this div tag. So let's try that one. So now what I will do, I already showed you we have to use array. We have to use map. Anything we want to use as a JavaScript inside the return statement should start with curly bracket. So I started with a curly bracket. Now I will do myArray.map. Since we have to loop through the myArray, we will use .map and I will close the open and close bracket, and inside that I will make an arrow function, and this arrow function will take two parameters. One is the value and one is the index, and inside this arrow function I have to return the some HTML tag or component. So here let's say I'm returning results, and in results I will pass some parameters which will go into the results component to display the details of that record. So for example, I will pass data equal to this value, and I will also pass key equal to this index, and this key is compulsory for the React purpose. React wants us to pass this key, otherwise it will give some error or some warning. So this key I will not use it. This key will be used by the Firebase to manipulate internally its own thing. Sorry, Firebase, not Firebase. This key will be used by the React to use internally in its own system. This key will not be used by me. It will be used by the React components. So this is something we have to pass hard-codedly, and this key should be unique. And we will not use it. So don't worry about this key. Let it React handle the key. We are not concerned about the key. We are only concerned about this data. So the results component will get this data. So if we have 10 records, first record will get the data value of data will get the first value. Second record will get the data of second value. Third record will get the value of the third record. So this way, every record will get its own value, and each value will have different title and different parameters. So for example, in the first case, I will get this value of this part. If we have more records, similar value will go for the second record and third record and fourth record and so on. So this value is an object which will go here in as a data. So now if I delete these results and if I refresh, it will show only one record because we have only one record from the Firebase. Now it's showing only one record, but it's not showing the heading, correct heading or the correct title. If we see in the Firebase what we are getting it, in the Firebase we are getting title as Indian food donation, but here title is coming media heading. Now we will change this media heading to the real title which is coming here, that is this one, Indian food donation. So all the value is going in the form of data. So let's open the results. So this is my results component. Here I am getting all the values in the form of, all values are coming in form of this dot props dot data. Why it's coming this dot props dot data? Because here I am passing it as data. I can pass here as a record. Then I can access this record here as this dot props dot record. So let's take this as a record because we are already passing data here. So we should not get confused with the data and again data. So here we will pass record. So in the results component, we get all the value in the form of the record. Now let's try to display the title, proper title here. So here will be this dot props dot record dot, what is the title? This is the title. And here will be this dot props dot record dot maybe description. And for the image, I will say this dot props.record.image URL. So we get this image also, we got this title, and we got the description. And let's see how it appears. Now, if you see, we are getting an image, we are getting the real donation, we are getting the description here. Let's try to create one more record and see how it goes now. So let's okay. I will create another record, Chinese food, for example. Location, I will say San Bruno. Description, this is my Chinese food. And tags will be food, Chinese food. And image URL, will get some image URL. I will say Chinese food. Images. Let's take this image. And I will put this image. And watch here when I click create post. When I click create post, this automatically comes here without refreshing the page. Though sorting is not there, we will do the sorting sometime other time, but it's coming here directly. Let's create another one. Maybe I can say Punjabi food donation. Let's put this here in Mountain View. And let's put the image. Okay, let's put this one. Okay, now watch what happens. When I click here, it's coming here immediately without delay. So it's coming immediately from the server and updating here. So this is how we display it. Let's also display the location. So I'll go in here and I will put the location. Now how to get the location? So if I see location, we have the location. Inside location, we have formatted address. So we can say, instead of description, we will say location dot formatted address. So that will display. So now it's displaying the location also. I know we have to manipulate this UI a little bit more afterwards. Right now I'm concentrating only on functionality. So I'm getting the location also here in each and every case. So this is how we display the things on the front end in the Firebase. Now you try to do same thing. I will give you one by one code and you have to put it inside your file. So first go to home.js, and in the home.js you have done this one. Is this done? Yesterday we did this. Have you put this code in your code base? This part? Is this part done? Okay, is this. Let's go to result container. In the result container, I will delete the console.log and I will only put the code. So I will give you the code in the chat. So this is the first part before the return. I'm putting in the chat. I will delete unnecessary comments. And this is another part inside the div tag. Okay, now let's go to the results component, and I will delete this console.log. I don't need it, and I will give this div tag, complete div tag, which you can display it. And after you are done with this, just try to test it on the browser and see if you are getting any error or everything is fine. Okay. So now we will try to manipulate this data a little bit more. So what we will do, we will assume that user is sitting in San Francisco. Okay, the person who is searching is sitting in San Francisco. In reality, in practical world, user will put the location here that I am sitting in Santa Clara maybe. Okay, so when he says Santa Clara, I will assume that user is sitting in Santa Clara and all the results will be referenced from the Santa Clara and we will show the distance from the Santa Clara. But let's say if user is saying he is sitting at this San Jose in particular home. Okay, so this is the place of the user's home. So then once user will choose this location, all the results will be referenced from this location. Okay, so maybe if he's saying this one, that means all the distance from this location to this location will be displayed here. So wherever user is sitting, we will display the distance from that location. Right now, since we haven't completed this search part, so we will assume that user is sitting in San Francisco and we will try to show the distance here. So for the San Francisco latitude and longitude is this one. This is the latitude and this is the longitude. So we will think that this is the latitude and this is the longitude, and from this place user is trying to search all the records and we will try to get the distance. Now to get the distance, we will have we have to write one function that will take this distance and distance of each record, and they will give the return miles, how many miles it is away from it. So what we will do, we will create one folder. In the source folder, we will create one folder that will be called as utilities. all my utilities, all my generic functions will go into this folder. And one of the file which I create here will be functions.js. So all the related functions on my website will go inside these functions. So I will open this function and I will create one function of the distance. I got this function from the internet. How to calculate the distance between two latitudes. So this is latitude 1, longitude 1, latitude 2, longitude 2, and this is the units. Units will be miles, or K is kilometers, and N is, I don't know what N means, we can find in internet, but anyhow I am concerned with the miles, so I will pass null here. I don't need to see the kilometer or some other measurement. So I will pass null. When I pass null, it will give me in the miles, how many miles it is away. So there are a lot of functions available on the internet. You pass one location and you pass another location, you will get the distance, that is how much distance is between one latitude to another latitude, or another one latitude longitude to another latitude longitude. So I created a functions.js file. Inside that I will put this distance code, distance function, and what I will do, I will import this distance function here. So here I will say import distance from utilities slash functions.js. And then what I will do, I will create a variable called as var distance is equal to, I will call this function, here I will name it as dist, and here I will call this distance function, and here I want to pass latitude 1. If you see the function, I have to pass latitude 1. So latitude 1 maybe I can get from the San Francisco, and I will pass here. Second one, I want to pass longitude 1. So I will take the San Francisco longitude and I will pass it here. Then I need to pass the latitude 2. Latitude 2 will be the latitude inside this value. So it will be, this is the value, and inside that I will go to the location. Inside location I will go to the latitude, because if you see, latitude is inside location, we have latitude and longitude. So this is how I get the latitude. This is the value, and inside value we have location, inside location we have latitude, and similarly we will go and get the longitude. So I will say value, this is the value actually in real sense, dot location dot longitude. So this becomes the distance. I can also create a new key inside my value. I can say is equal to distance is equal to this dist value. So whatever distance value we get from this one, maybe 23 miles, it will be saved in this variable, and this variable will be again saved with the key distance. So ultimately when I'm saving this will have a distance key also with exactly the miles distance here. So if we want to see, I can console.log this my array, see what is coming in that one. So in the my array I will go. So in the first case I am getting the distance of 0.652, because this is also San Francisco and we are referencing from the San Francisco. In the second case I am getting the distance of San Bruno is about 9 miles or 10 miles from the San Francisco. And this is the third case. In third case we are in the Santa Clara and the distance is 32 miles. So this is how we calculate the distance, and we will put this distance inside here, inside each result. So what I will do, I will get the distance inside the array. So I will go to the results component, and where we have this formatted address, I will make an bracket and I will say this dot prop dot record dot distance. I'll close the curly bracket space mi. Mi means miles. Mi dot. Now if I see the results, I will get the result. But this is coming in too many digits. I don't want so many digits. I want only 2 digits. Otherwise, it will be difficult for user to see. Also, I want it in the bold so that it should look little nicer. So I will just create a strong tag. Inside that, I will put the distance mile, but I want this in the 2-digit number. So let's try to fix that in the to the two digit number. So to fix it in the two-digit number, we will call one JavaScript function, and that function is called, here is the dist, and that function is called toFixed. ToFixed is the JavaScript function. It fixes the decimal number to number of digit you mention it here. So now if I refresh the page, it is saying 0.65 miles or 9.97 miles, 32.87 miles. Let's take the reference point to some other point right now. So I will go to Google and see what is the latitude and longitude of some other place. So for example, if I am in the Pleasanton, so I will say latitude and longitude of Pleasanton.
Manny, couldn't you pull in the logged in users location and use that?
If you want to pull the logged in users location, there are two problems. One problem is you should be in the HTTPS, and second problem is you have to allow your location. There is a Google thing, it asks you to allow the location, and if you know that, then you can pull in the location also.
That's right. Understand.
Yeah, but 99% user don't allow, so I don't want it. Let him search, and we will keep this location. Maybe we can save this location and we can use it every time he comes in. But we can get that also location, but that way we have to get the permission from the user, and I've seen 99% people don't give permission. But since this app is something like that, it can give permission. People can give permission for this application, so we can use that also. But right now I don't want to concentrate on that part, but we can do that easily. Okay, let's try to now reference the latitude, longitude of Pleasanton. I don't want in this format degree and radius. I want in number format like this. Yeah, so this is the one. Let's try this one. Let's put this is latitude, and this is the longitude. This is Dublin one. Okay, now we will see the how it shows. So now it's referencing from the Dublin. So San Francisco is 26 miles. San Bruno is also 26 miles, and this Mountain View is 23 miles. This is hard-coded value, and we will fix it when user will put this location, and we will search it. Then when user will search it, we will base this location from the place which user is searching it. Okay, so this is all about this part, and I will now give you the code for it. So create a utilities folder, and inside that create a functions.js folder, and I will give you the code for distance now. I put it the code for distance. Let me know once you are done. I will give you another code. Okay. So now let me give you the code for the results.js. I will give you only one line, the formatted address one in the results.js. खोला है. Okay. Now I will give you the in the result container. Inside the for loop, I will give you only 2 lines of the code inside the for loop. And once you are done, let me know. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. So we are done with this functionality, right? Let's fix this form. We will add little bit more details on this form, and then we will close today. Tomorrow we will finish this search part, and then once we finish the search part, when user will choose a location, this distance will come from this location. So let's try to fix this search part little bit. I'll go to the components. and home. In the home component, we have this search part, and I'll delete this console.log. I don't need console.log anymore. I don't need console.log. Okay, and then okay, so now let this console.log be there, and then above location I will let me put the label of location. Okay, I got the location, and in the keyword also I'll put the colon. So I get this location above autocomplete box. I will create another box here after autocomplete. Maybe I'll okay, so I created another box here, and here I will choose the select one. I will say select class name equal to form group. Okay, we have class name of form group here. So let's put the form control, and this is my select one, and here I will start passing the option, and the first option will be county, and second option will be city, third option will be state, and fourth option will be country. So, and here I will say uh, show results within. So I'm saying here show results within county. So when user choose this county, all the results which will come inside the county. Or I can have one more option, and this option will be, yeah, I have to choose any one of the option, right? We cannot make it all kind of thing, either county, city, state, or country. We need to choose either of this one. So results will be based on the county. So let's say if user chooses this Santa Clara County, if user chooses the location of Santa Clara or San Jose, then and this is county, then I will show all the results inside the county of Santa Clara because this location is in Santa Clara County. But if user chooses this as a Dublin and this is county, then I will show all the results in the Alameda County because this location comes in the Alameda County. So whatever location user has put and what is the drop down, based on this I will show this results. Okay, so I will give you this code. This one will go below the complete box, autocomplete box, inside the home.js, and just put the location above the autocomplete box, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. So is it done?
Can you show where that code was from?
The option.
Okay,
Where is
which
the
one?
option?
This one?
Where is the option?
I give you this option, right?
Yeah. Let me see. Before.
After autocomplete, you can put this one.
Okay.
Any questions? Any doubt?
Yeah, all done.
Is it working?
You did need one more div underneath select. Underneath that last select in.
Yeah, right. I did not put it.
I'm done. But
It's working?
which one?
Any error?
Yeah, a lot of error.